Welcome to the B&E Show, brought to you by Natural Wireless, your sole source provider for all things fixed wireless. Boom! Thank you everyone for joining. Do you know that fixed wireless has been around for 121 years? 121 years. That is a long time. Who actually invented fixed wireless? None other than Nikola Tesla. Boom. Did you know Nikola Tesla created this fixed wireless tower in Shoreham, New York? JP Morgan funded his R&D with a $150,000 grant in 1901. Not a little earlier than that. It's about $5 million in today's value. Pretty spectacular. Gotta say, pretty spectacular. Let me go back to that. Check out this logo intro. I would love to get some feedback here. Check out this. Check it out one more time. It's just awesome. One sec. Here we go. Come on, you got to admit that's just an awesome intro logo.
That's an intro that I have never experienced before, and it was quite awesome.
Fabulous. This is Errol. Errol, nice to see you. Errol Compelian, part of the
hello,
of the B&E Show.
B&E Show back again.
Boom.
We are broadcasting live from Workville today, which is always exciting. How's my audio?
Let's talk about Workville. Workville, 1412 Broadway.
1412 Broadway. Let's see if I can get one of their signs.
Co-working space. Look at that.
Bam. Boom. These guys rock.
Indeed.
So shout out to DJ and the team over there.
Nice. Like shout outs. Bring it on.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it on.
Absolutely. We got so we have an awesome guest today as well.
We do.
I
can't wait. This is going to be awesome. I was just saying how fixed wireless is not new. It's actually 121 years old.
The trend has been that we will open the show with that fact every episode.
And the crazier fact is that Nikola Tesla also invented coax and fixed wireless.
You definitely told me that he's invented coax before, and I forgot it, and will act like I read it. I like it. It was
act surprised.
Oh, act surprised. Everybody. Yes, absolutely. What? No way. So part of what we're going to talk about today, to make it short and sweet, is like cool applications.
Oh yeah,
you like my shirt? I like my shirt.
Very nice. I like the colors.
I feel confident about it. Oh, thank you.
Bold and beautiful.
Whoa! Listen, that's my personality. That's my sparking personality. But I completely lost my train of thought now. Interesting and unorthodox uses for fixed wireless, right? So part of the reason why we have Chris coming on today, who is like the director of IT for an ambulance corps out in New Jersey, is that we worked with him to build a fixed wireless backup for one of his implementations. So do we have him around? Where is he? Have you kept him locked up somewhere? Good. Let me just text him. But what's very exciting is they had a lot of challenges, which I'm sure Chris will speak to, over how to get a real backup, right? Because like we said in our last show, or 2 shows before, 2 sources of fiber going through the street is not a real backup. And when you need to, say, run an ambulance corps, you need a real backup. It's not a joke. But if this goes down, you have a serious problem. So let me.
That's just one piece of it. I mean, there's a massive hotel in Midtown. The same situation, similar. I shouldn't say the same, similar. They have multiple quote unquote path diverse operators coming in, but like you mentioned on an earlier show, it all goes back to a vault underground. You could have 5 different POEs, and those POEs can go back to the same vault underground. And if the vault goes, all those diverse POEs are meaningless.
We got AJ over here. You are correct. 1 is none and 2 is 1. I like that, AJ. That's a good
Fancy.
one. I'm going to steal that, AJ. I appreciate it because
AJ, shout out to AJ. AJ's the bomb, man. Yeah, I got to get up to the summit. I haven't been up to the summit. It's pretty spectacular. I'm told. I haven't been to experience it yet.
listen, we've seen we've seen the heights.
We've
Of
been up to the tippity top, but not those mirrored
one knows that.
floors and all that crazy awesome stuff.
That is true. That is true. Let me text Chris in the meantime if you want to plug anything while I frantically figure out.
Frantically, you don't look so frantic. You're not sweating yet. You got to sweat it up a little bit.
Listen, I'm not gonna start breathing heavily until until it's
You can. You can. You can.
Thank you. How's this mic audio? Do we like this, by the way?
We
Shout
do.
out to getting
It sounds lovely.
Oh,
Sounds lovely. Oh man. One of the critical components for property owners to fully grasp the benefits of getting fixed wireless into their building is that diversity. You know, how many times have you heard of customers saying, "Hey, I'm annoyed with my current provider. They're taking so long to get back to me, blah, 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 blah." But then when they're actually given a solution that's completely independent, they kind of freeze up, you know? It's like when you're like in an action movie and all this action's happening, you just clam up. You don't know what to do because the answer's staring you in the face. It's diversity is fixed wireless up on your rooftop. You know?
Right. Well, it's also very challenging because you get a lot of information from a lot of people, right? So, and obviously, everybody that's talking to you has an agenda in terms of what their technology is, but whether or not it's actually going to protect you, you have to use your own skills, and we're trying to provide you with those skills, right? So you'll at least know what your tools are that you have available to you. Fixed wireless is a great tool. I mean, just thinking about it, right? We were talking about. I guess we should probably chat with these people later, but we get a lot of the firehouse that needed.
You don't have to tell me who. Come on,
I know. That was
you can't kiss and tell, you know.
Oh, you know. So Chris is actually jumping on. He just texted me back, so he's a busy man. We appreciate him coming on here. So
Most definitely.
Let's see how.
Most definitely.
See how it runs here. But
here we go. Let's bring Chris in here.
Hey, Chris.
Gentlemen, how are you?
How's it going, man? Good to see you.
Same here.
It's been quite some time. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We were just singing your praises on the use of fixed wireless in your environment. So I wanted to ask you, do you want to? We just want to tee you off immediately. So how did we start working together? What are you using it for? So on and so on.
Oh, that's your radio, right? That's your dispatch radio. It sounds like
that's one of them. Yeah. So,
like
Errol and I met about a year and a half ago. We were working on a phone project together. One of the things that we were looking at was with my phone system for the 911 communication center. We were looking at some geodiversity. We had reached out to Verizon to ask them what their best course of action for the layered system was, and they could offer us the Ethernet private line. That wasn't an issue. The problem that we had was that they wanted the redundancy, and it came out of the same central office. So I wasn't happy with that piece. So we reached out to Errol and he offered us a couple of different solutions. One of those being a microwave dish between our dispatch center and the hospital where the second site was located. And what we found was that some of the challenges that we had were the way the wiring was put together, going from the basement of the hospital all the way up to the 10th floor, which was the first time that we ever had equipment up that far. And the other challenge that we had was how the connectivity piece, without actually being part of the hospital network, which always poses a challenge because now you have different firewalls and everything else. So we really needed a very robust solution on how to connect. And Errol was instrumental, and his team was instrumental in offering that. And one of the things that we also asked him about was connectivity from the basement to the 10th floor. They offered us a phenomenal solution, both copper for some of our older analog systems, as well as a digital solution. And and running the fiber optic lines for us. Um, both projects were absolutely effortless. Once we got the teams out there, they were able to visit us and see it conceptually. It was very easy to form that. The advantage that we had was the support of Verizon as well as the telecom division here at Hackensack Meridian, and the ability to run very similar chases up through the central locations. They followed the same pipelines, same chases, which made it very easy. The telecom department was very supportive of that because we were able to give back some of the fiber optic lines that we ran. So now they had a continuous chaseway from their vault up to the 10th floor penthouse as they started to expand their work. So it really helped out. And once again, the project was really effortless. It was done in a very short amount of time. The connectivity piece was online before Verizon actually got their hardwire done. And the connectivity throughput was just absolutely amazing. I mean, we had requested a smaller bandwidth than what was actually given when we were doing the time and the testing, and it has been absolutely rock solid since the day we put it in. We put both solutions on an uninterrupted power supply, so we have no problems with that. It has been really fantastic to have that kind of not only the geodiversity in our phone system, but the ability to carry that much traffic. And honestly, when you need that kind of bandwidth is when the worst things are happening, when you have bad storms, when you have large scale incidents that are going on, which is really going to tax your phone system. And to have that ability, and God forbid, we lose that Ethernet private line from Verizon, we have a phenomenal solution. In addition to the Verizon wireless routers that we're using to dial into that geodiverse system, we are, with the exception of power, we're completely independent from Hackensack University Medical Center's network infrastructure, which makes our network incredibly secure, especially with the threats and environments that we have. But it also, the advantage that we have is that we can maintain that network and have the ability to dial in. If we use remote systems, we can dial into either one or both of the sites, depending on how it's set up. So, and be able to get the same exact traffic from either site. So, having the ability to take two of our disaster consoles, put one in an area and then another one in a completely different area, being able to dial in and having that microwave solution or that EPL set up, it's just been absolutely phenomenal. It's really opened up a tremendous amount of avenues for us here at MyCom to be able to use that phone system. One of the things that we're looking at is the enhanced security of it. We have, if there's, God forbid, there's some traffic that's coming across the EPL that needs to get shut down. Microwave is a relatively secure platform, so we really don't have to worry about things like that. Even if they go into a quote unquote the airport mode, which is the most common way of testing it now, we still have an avenue that's going to keep us geodiverse. That's really been a tremendous asset with Natural Wireless and MyCom. So we're very happy with the solution that we had.
Well, that's
That was awesome, Chris. Thank you. I'm faked. I'm like, this is what I like to hear. So that's our goal. Because as the apps guy, I'm like, oh man,
we get
I
that
hope we
question
did a
so
good
much
job.
about voice. You bring up the voice part.
Yeah.
People typically ask, hey, does fixed wireless work with voice? I mean, yeah. I mean, the proof is right here, right?
Right.
And it works in those disasters when it's snowing and raining and et cetera, et cetera.
When the phone needs to ring, it rings, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly it. And we really researched this well through the phone, through the different pieces of it. We made our 911 system a lot more robust by bringing in a second trunk, and without Errol's help, being able to run those lines up, that was huge. They ran the Verizon came in and ran the baseline system, but to be able to bring the automatic location indicators or the alley system up. From the downstairs, we used their analog wires to come up, and we used their copper to come up, and we were able to plug in flawlessly. They set it up beautifully. They had four different RJ11 setup or RJ45 jacks set up. We were able to tap directly into that, come off the 66 block from downstairs, and we were live within probably 2 hours at the most after Verizon's techs got on site. So we had a tremendous amount of geodiversity through all of that. Worked really well.
That's amazing. I mean, The proof is right there. In your environment, you're using fixed wireless for phones for mission critical, and it works. I mean, that's case in point, case study, right? Quote what everything you just said, because it works. And people sometimes are unsure that fixed wireless would and will work because it's a new technology. It's not new. It's 121 years old, right? This is amazing. What you're describing is fantastic, and we're so lucky to be working with you guys.
Yeah. So, Chris, actually, we had someone ask a question. Aaron Friedman, thanks for asking the question. And not to put you on the spot, Chris, I don't actually know the answer to this question, which is what are you doing for data overlay, PLT, or fixed wireless? Do you have any considerations at this time? I'm not really sure what data overlay is, but if you know.
I'm honestly, I'm not sure about the data overlay. Right now, we are receiving. I guess you could say we do have a data overlay with the automatic location indicators, the alley circuits from 911. We are receiving data, even though it's a short amount, but we are receiving that traffic over the wireless circuit as well. So with the geodiversity, it comes from the primary circuit is the Ethernet private line, but it's also in the event that it fails, we did try. So we're getting voice and data from the 911 central office down in Trenton. And one of the failovers that we looked at for this system to make sure that it was certified was in the middle of a 911 phone call, we literally failed the system to see if the geodiverse system would take over and make the call seamless, or would we actually get a call drop. And we did several test calls, live test calls with our public safety answering point, which is Hackensack Police Department. We had 0 failures. So we failed the Ethernet private line, and we failed, and then we went back and we failed the microwave and ran it through the EPL. We had absolutely no issues with call drop. So that was
what more do you want?
That was amazing, and that's one of the things that that the state of New Jersey, when they're looking at certifying a 911 phone system, that's one of the things that they do. So I hope that answered Aaron's question. Yes, technically we are doing a data overlay. Right now, there's no plans on expanding that piece out. We are looking at some other solutions for connectivity in a hub and spoke type model to branch out within the Hackensack Meridian network. But at this time, we're very happy with the connectivity piece for the main phone system and the geodiversity component that we have.
That's great. Great answer. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Did you say you were planning a hub and spoke fixed wireless setup? Is that what I heard right there? Because I mean,
I'm not 100% sure it's going to be fixed wireless or not, but we're definitely looking at some alternatives at this point to see what we can do, whether that be an MPLS route or otherwise. We're definitely looking at moving to the next generation.
Chris, you're just teeing me up so perfectly. I gotta love it. So I was literally about to talk about MPLS because people ask us about this, right? And Natural Wireless is a network that can provide MPLS circuits, but also it's a little bit easier from our perspective because of how our network is structured and how we can actually connect endpoints. MPLS is historically, and if people don't know what MPLS is, that's keeping essentially traffic within our network and never hits the internet. You need that for like HIPAA and a bunch of other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So we've done that for other clinics, and fixed wireless is actually, depending on how you structure it, and we've had this discussion with banks, and there's always a question of how would you implement it, right? But you could do a large fixed wireless network and get the same functionality as you would at MPLS, or you could just get straight MPLS circuits from a fixed wireless provider like us. But that's one of the unique things that, if you think about it, similar to what you did with point-to-point between sites A and B, you could do that between A, B, C, D, keep going all the way down the line, and you own it, you manage it, right? As opposed to relying on a Verizon or a Spectrum or whoever to essentially operate that system for you, right? You have a partner like a small business like us that allows you to do, have greater control over your network.
Sounds like we have a potential follow-up convo here going on, which is great. This
is about marketing. I'm ops. That's all I care about. I'm just going to build it, and then I leave these discussions to you. No, but
This is great.
Listen,
This is great.
we're having a good time here. But what time are we
Definitely.
running on, Ben? Oh, we're at
No, it's
20
time.
minutes.
It's time. I don't want to take any more of
Broken the
Chris's
rules.
time. He's a busy guy. He
Thank
turned
you,
off his
Chris.
radio, which is bad. Yeah.
That's why I have a phenomenal team monitoring the rest of it. So
That's what we like to hear.
You always make me look good. With the team
Excellent.
behind me is phenomenal.
That's great. Listen, I really appreciate you jumping in here. The B&E Show. Chris, dude, that description was phenomenal. Honestly, really.
Guys, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks
for coming
Appreciate
on,
your
and
time.
we'll talk to you soon.
All right,
care.
very good, guys. Thank you. Take care.
Play me out, Ben.
Errol, I have a question for you.
I don't have an answer. I might
What?
have an answer. Go ahead. I always have
an
an answer.
answer.
It's not, whether it's a good question. The answer is another question. But go on. What's the
Really?
question? Do it.
Question is,